It is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and it is another 30 days of sketches, round 17. So today's exclusive sketch comes to us from Sandra Lee. And when I saw this sketch, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the perfect sketch for Mad About Mini Paper Pads. That's not today, but this would have been the perfect sketch. So anybody who is trying to use up some of their smaller paper pads, definitely keep this sketch in your back pocket, and I will keep it as well because I am in love with how this turned out. I'm not going to lie. So I am using, of course I went into my small paper pads because I was like, oh, this is perfect. I pulled out the Dear Lizzy Lucky Charm, and I don't have a ton of it left, which is super exciting. And I pulled 4 different papers to do those 4 different blocks. And I cut them down to about 5 by 5. And then I just decided to do it on a piece of white cardstock instead of doing the white border and then pattern paper in the background. And I did actually contemplate possibly doing a sketchy border. I don't end up doing that. I think mainly because of my embellishing kind of went off that block of papers. So I've cut them down. I'm trying to figure out, it really should be 1 inch border all the way around, right? I cut them down to 5 by 5, should have an inch on the top, inch, like that would make 12 by 12. So in my brain, I'm really trying to make this work. I've got my T-square ruler out. I do think I'm going to purchase another one because it does kind of bother me that it's broken, and they're not expensive. They're not expensive at all. I don't know why I haven't. I'm like, it works, so I'm going to do it. But I do think I'm going to bite the bullet and get a new one. So I've got my 4 papers down. And then for that big circle, I decided to go with a doily. Now, this doily is definitely bigger than what is called for in the sketch. But I either have like ginormous doilies or little doilies. So the ginormous doily is what I'm going to use. So I have 2 photos. They are 3 by 4 photos, and I'm going to mat them in 2 different papers from the paper pad. So I'm going to get 2 more pieces of paper used up from this paper pad. And these are some odd photos, I'm not going to lie. But we eat Mexican food every Sunday night after church. We go to our local Mexican food restaurant and we have Mexican food. That's what we do. We always get a margarita. Well, turns out I'm actually allergic to the tequila that they put in the margarita mix for the house. And I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Like, it felt a little warm. My cheeks got a little red. No big deal. I'm like, okay, whatever. Well, then it happened again. And this time I took a picture and the redness went all the way down my chest. And I was like, okay, this is crazy. Okay, I need to stay away. But I didn't know at the time what the tequila was. So we're pretty good friends with most of the people there because they know us. And so one night I finally asked him, which I stopped obviously ordering the margarita, but I was like, what is the tequila that you use? And so he pulls it out and I took a picture. And so I know I can ask. And funny enough, girls' weekend, we went to a Mexican food place. I went to order a margarita and I said, what tequila do you use? And they're like, oh, it's Montezuma Gold. And I was like, nope, I can't have that. So it's a good thing to know. And I just decided to document it. My husband's allergic to all kinds of things, and all of that gets documented. But so far, this is all that I'm allergic to. So just need to keep an eye on it. So I've got my doily down. I've got my photos down. And then I went into my bin of just random stuff. The little pieces of a collection that you have left over. So I have a container on my desk and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to use things from this container. So I pulled out a pile. That's what you see there. And then I was like, well, I'm going to start with my title because I want to get my title up there above that photo like is in the sketch. And that fun gold glittery thing from, well, it says Chill, but it was, I can't remember the collection. It'll come to me at 3 a.m. I'm like, fun, not fun, no fun. That's what I'm going to do for my title. So I thought I was going to use the bright pink. It was too bright. I brought in some thickers from Hip Kit Club that were another pink. So I put my title up there. It says no fun. I'm going to make a couple of clusters. I did make a tag from one of the papers in the paper pad as well. And I added some Frazzle from Color Rush Studio to that tag. And that's where my journaling is going to go. So I made it so that it slides in and out when I added the adhesive around. And that little piece that says all about me, I am pretty sure it's got to be at least 18 years old. Because I know that I bought it from a little scrapbook store shortly after my son was born. And we would go there and have night crops. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I miss that. I really miss that. So it has a bunch of information about it. I think it's like to put for your daughter, but I'm just going to use the top where it says all about me because this was all about me. I did add a bunch of cluster to the bottom. I added a hello and a flower up there. So my title is Hello, No Fun. There is that frazzle. And here is that bottom cluster. I used a little, what is that called? Little wood veneer piece, peachy keen, a color block, and an acrylic butterfly. I have no idea where it came from. But yeah, all of that's from my little thing there. So that's going to do it. Remember to wear your crown. I'll have the playlist down below for 30 days of sketches, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.